Hey guys, Taylor here, coming to you with a lesson teaching you how to play 7 instantly recognizable guitar riffs. These are all going to be finger dexterity based riffs, so no chords, just single notes. And these are very beginner friendly, and they're great songs to have in your repertoire because basically anyone, anywhere will recognize these riffs. So let's go ahead and dive right in and start learning 7 instantly recognizable guitar riffs. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started learning some instantly recognizable riffs. I'm going to have you start with Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. It's a really fun one, not too hard to play, and everyone will recognize it right away. So go ahead and start with your index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. And we're going to be playing this in what's called second position. So with the positions on guitar, you can say any position, right? You could say 5th, 7th position, 2nd. It could be anywhere on the guitar, but what that's telling you to do is it's telling you to start on that particular fret with your index finger. So if we're in 2nd position, then we're starting on the 2nd fret with our index finger, and then our other fingers should just kind of line up from there. So if we're in 2nd position, our fingers are covering the 2nd fret with our index finger, the 3rd fret with our 2nd finger, the 4th fret with our ring finger, and the 5th fret with our pinky. So that's kind of just telling you, when you hear those different positions, it's basically an easy way of telling you how to line those fingers up. So we're in 2nd position, our index finger's on the 2nd fret of the A string. Here we go, let's go ahead and learn this riff. So we got 2-2, the A string twice. And then one more time, we're going to play the 2nd fret again, up to the 4th fret on the A string with our ring finger, pinky to the 5th fret of the A string, and then we're going to play that 3 more times, and then back down to the 4th fret of A with our ring finger. So we've got 2, 2, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2, 4, 5. This is all on the A string. 5, 5, 5, 4. Alright guys, let's keep moving. Let's learn our next instantly recognizable riff. This one's going to be all the way up on the 12th fret. And we're going to be playing in essentially 10th position. We're going to move a little bit towards the end of this riff, but what I want you to do is start with your ring finger on the 12th fret of the D string, and we're going to be playing Sunshine of Your Love from Cream. So we're going to go 12, 12 with our ring finger, 10 with the index, back to 12 with ring, and then we're going to jump that ring finger up to the A string, 12 on the A string, 11 on A with our 2nd finger, 10 on A with our index finger, and then here's where we change positions a little bit. We're going to grab the 10th fret on the low E, but we're going to switch to our ring finger for that. Index finger on 8 on the A string, back to 10 on the low E with that ring finger. So one more time, we've got 12, 12 on D with the ring finger, 10 on D, back to 12 on D, jump over to the A string, 12, 11, 10, and then we're switching up our fingers a little bit. We're going to grab that 10th fret of the low E with our ring finger, index finger on 8 on the A string, back to 10 on the low E. Let's hear how that sounds all together. Alright guys, let's go ahead and head over to our next instantly recognizable riff. This one's going to be Seven Nation Army from the White Stripes. I'm going to have you play it maybe a little different than you might have seen in other places. This is all going to be in 7th position, so I like to line this one up in a way where I can just play it all in the same place without having to slide up and down the neck too much. So we're in 7th position. That means our index finger is going to start on the 7th fret, And we're going to be starting on the A string in this case. So 7th fret of the A string. And we're going to play that 7 twice. So 7, 7, 10 on the A string. So we're going to use our pinky there. So that 7th position tells us that our fingers should be covering 7, 8, 9, and 10. So pinky lines up over 10. So we got 7, 7, 10. Back to 7 on the A string. Then we're moving to the low E. We've got the 10th fret with our pinky, the 8th fret with our 2nd finger, and the 7th fret on the low E with our index finger. And that's a great way to play that riff all in the same position. Great little finger workout as well. And everyone will recognize it, of course. Alright guys, the next riff I have for you is going to be Day Tripper from the Beatles. This one is in 2nd position. So remember, that just tells us how to line up our fingers. We're covering 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and 5th fret. Index finger covering the 2nd fret. So that's just our finger assignments, right, to make this as easy as possible. Here we go, let's run through the notes. We're going to start with an open E. 3rd fret on the low E string, 4th fret on the low E string, 2nd fret on the A string with our index, 2nd fret on the D string with our index, open D, 2nd fret A, 4th fret on D with our ring finger, back to 2nd fret on A, open D, 2nd fret on D with the index finger. Let's hear how that sounds. Alright, the next instantly recognizable riff I have for you guys is going to be Beat It by Michael Jackson. We're going to play this in a pretty easy way, a little bit simplified, but it's going to be right over here in 2nd position again. So line up those fingers in 2nd position. Those are our finger assignments. Let's work through these notes. So we got open E, 3rd fret of the low E string, 2nd fret of A with our index finger, open G, 2nd fret D, 4th fret D with our ring finger, back to 2nd fret of D with index, and then 2 open zeros at the end. The way they do it in the song is they'll kind of alternate. So the first time they play 2 open zeros at the end, and then the next time they just play 1. So you can kind of alternate between those. But here's how that riff will sound when you put it together. Alright guys, so the next riff I have for you is from Metallica. It is Enter Sandman, everyone's favorite, right? But this is actually a pretty fun riff to play. It's not too terribly hard. So what I'm going to have you do is start off in 5th position. So that means our 1st finger would cover the 5th fret, 2nd finger would cover 6, 3rd finger would cover 7, pinky would cover 8. We don't have any 8s in this particular case. So I'm going to have you start with the 7th fret, which means we're going to start with our ring finger, and that's going to be on the A string. And what I want you to do for this riff is to make sure you just keep that ring finger planted right there on the 7th fret of the A string the entire time. So that is never going to move. So just anchor that right there. And then let's go ahead and play this. I have the tabs on screen for you. So we're going to start with an open E. We're going to play that 7 on the A string that we're already holding. Then we're going to use our 1st finger to play 5 on the D string. 2nd finger is going to come in and play 6 on the low E, and then 5 on the low E with index finger, and then our last note of the riff is that note that we're still holding down, the 7 on the A string, And by keeping that there, it makes it really easy to just kind of reset. So you start back on the open E, you keep that finger planted there, and we're just going to play through that again. So open E, 7 on the A string, 5 on D with our index, 6, 5 on the low E, and then one more time with our finger that's planted there, the 7 on the A string. Let's see how that sounds when we put it together. Alright guys, let's move on to our last riff here, which is going to be a good old Bob Marley song, the Redemption song. So we're going to go ahead and play that intro. This one's going to be in first position, so we're just going to line up our fingers right in order with the frets there. First finger is going to cover the first fret, second finger will cover second fret, third finger third fret, pinky fourth fret. We're going to start with the third fret of the low E, open A, second fret A, third fret low E. Now this next part is a slide. It's kind of optional, so if it feels a little tricky for you, don't worry about it, but what you can do is slide from the second to third fret, and you're going to use your third finger for that. So since we're sliding into 3, we're still going to use that ring finger. If the slide feels a little funky for you right now, just play 3, no problem. And then the next part, we also have another slide. We're going to slide from the first fret to the second fret on the D string. Again, we're going to use our second finger because we're sliding into the second fret. If the slide feels a little weird for you, just play the second fret without the slide, no problem. Then we've got an open D, second fret A, back to third fret on the low E, open A, second fret A, open D, second fret A, third fret A with the ring finger, second fret A, open A, back to that low E string, third fret. Let's see how that sounds all together. Alright guys, well there you have it. There's 7 instantly recognizable guitar riffs for you that you can add to your repertoire. Obviously these are really fun to play, but not only that, they're great practice as well, and they will get your fingers moving and working together. If you enjoyed this lesson guys, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button to help support the channel. And don't forget, you can also check the link in the description below this video for a PDF that is completely free, that sums up everything we talked about in this lesson and gives you all the written music for those riffs. So happy practicing guys, thanks so much for tuning in, I'll see you in the next one.